Hello, 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 everyone. Happy Tuesday. Joshua, we've got so much to discuss tonight. Like, our agenda is packed tonight. It's going to be ridiculous. But we have to start off with something very important that is probably only important to me, but I'm really proud of it. Know what I got today?
What did you get today?
I got my YouTube plaque.
Yeah!
I got my Google Play button, and it has a mirror. So you can see my. Oh, look at it. You can see us in the mirror, Joshua. Ooh.
It's gorgeous.
Yes, I'm very proud of this.
You should be very proud of it. And now, when you get the gold one for 1 million subs, is it going to go right next to it, or?
I don't even know. I don't even know what I'm going to do with this. I actually had it sitting on the floor for most of the day, and I tripped earlier, and I almost stepped on it. I have to come up with a plan.
Well, yeah, and I would also, because what's the next one? Is it 500,000?
No, it's 1 million. So that was going to take a minute. That's going to take a minute. I did some math today, and it could take several years.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but it's probably going to take a minute. I've only been doing this since February, and I'm only at the 100,000 point. I mean, I say only. I've grown a lot faster than a lot of people, and I'm very blessed at that. But it's going to take a while to get to 1 million. I'm not going to hold my breath on that one. I'm going to enjoy the silver one, and if I ever get to 1 million, hey, that's cool too.
It's gorgeous. Is it hangable, or do you have to?
Hangable. Okay. No, it is hangable. I can hang it on the wall. I don't have any wall space for it behind me. I got to figure out a new setup for my thing behind me to be able to display things. I have a lot of changes I want to do to my office / kind of studio, I guess.
Yeah. So well, new year. We have a new year coming up, so.
I know. I'm going to put Victor to work and make him build me a studio, like a proper studio. We'll see. Victor was also supposed to redo the bathroom like 6 months ago, and he never quite got to that. So Victor's got a long list of projects he needs to do. But you know what else happened that I want to talk about? And this was our show last week. You know what YouTube did to us last week?
What?
YouTube, those fuckers Oh, I just got us demonetized again. Those fuckers demonetized our show last week. After a manual human review, Team YouTube decided that our show last week was just too controversial to be monetized. So I complained. I did what any good decent person would do, and I complained about it on Twitter because this is stupid. Like, YouTube has reached the point where if you mention Sidney Powell's name, they're just going to demonetize you based on principle. And this time they literally demonetized a psychic. Can you imagine that?
That's really upsetting.
It is really upsetting.
So, you complained, and they stuck to their guns, and they were like, "Oh, we're not going to."
No, actually, I have to give YouTube credit here. I do have to give them credit because they reneged on the demonetization, and so they did a second human review, and apparently the second human was much more sensible than the first human, and said, "Yeah, we really shouldn't be demonetizing psychics."
Okay,
so that was progress.
So we wound up getting monetized for that. We didn't.
We did. Yes. We lost a little bit, but like not really all that much in the grand scheme of things. And I think it's like funny enough that I'm willing to sacrifice the little bit that we lost just to say that YouTube is demonetizing psychics now. Conservative psychics, right-leaning psychics, Joshua, because you are now right-leaning. You realize you're on the list. You are on the list of people that are not on the list that you want to be on. So that was the other thing that happened, and then a third random thing that happened that I want to really do to kick off our show today is freaking Shoe on Head. Shoe on Head, who I have never really talked smack about to any great degree, even though I really could have, because I saw how nervous she was when we did our little discussion, and I was very nice and diplomatic, and I was like, I'm not really going to go after her. I feel sorry for her. But you know what Shoe on Head did?
Hold on, may I just stop you there? When we did our little discussion, what was she nervous about?
Oh, she was like incredible. She was like before we went live, like you and I are now, she was like freaking out about having this discussion. I was like, this is not even a big deal. Like, I'm not going to be mean to you unless you're mean to me. But she was like freaking out about doing this. She's like, debates aren't my thing. And I'm like, this isn't even going to be a debate. Like, I don't even want to debate you. I just want to have a discussion. I thought that was like what we were doing. And of course, like for people who haven't watched it, I mean, it's still available on this channel. She kind of tried to turn it into a debate, but I was very nice to her. I thought I was much more diplomatic than I possibly could have, than I really should have been, given the scenario. But then I find out, and this happened about a month ago, and I'm not sure why I didn't realize that this is what she did. You remember that Halloween episode that we did when we impromptu read Tim Pool's and Vosh's energy? Shuwon had clipped that and put it on Twitter, and like to make fun of us, absolutely losing my effing mind at me bringing on a whole ass psychic to read Tim Pool and Vosh. Well, first we know that Shu, obviously doesn't know that you are on this channel literally every single week. Literally every week, Shu. Literally every week he's on the channel. But what's even more interesting to me about this is like, I felt like we were pretty complimentary to at least Tim on this. And I mean, not so much Vosh, but we weren't even really mean to Vosh in this. Basically, so for people who don't want to go back and watch this clip, what happened is like just impromptu. I said something off the cuff about Tim's fans and Vosh's fans being very similar and feeling like they probably attracted the same type of people. And if you attract the same types of people, sometimes that means like you're basically like in sync in terms of your energy. Like, and you read their energies and basically found that Tim is more connected to spirit and Vosh is pulling from sheer willpower. So life's going to be a lot easier for Tim than it is for Vosh, which I don't even think is really like a mean thing to say. And it was like an impromptu question, and she clipped it and put it on YouTube. But what I love about this, Joshua, it's got like 105,000 views.
Oh, wow.
Which is actually like, I mean, no attention is bad attention, right?
I mean, I don't think so. I think that it's always good attention. I mean, it's great. I think that, when you're being, not attended to, that it's a problem.
I think so, but why did you just get very blah? You got to pick up the energy, Joshua. I know you look like you're a bro from Boston today, and you need to talk in a Boston accent, but come on.
I got to try the Boston accent, all right?
Can you say wicked pissa?
This is wicked pissa. Like only a million views from Shu? Only 1 million?
You don't even say you're from Boston. I know you have a Boston accent.
You know what? Honestly, what I have to do is I just need 2 seconds on the phone with one of my friends from Boston, and I will be dropping my R's like crazy. I just have to hear it, and then like it's really weird, like automatic. But I don't have any Boston bros with me right now.
Well, we'll have to work on that. But in the meantime, I thought the turnabout would be fair play because, obviously I don't really mind that she did this. I think it's kind of funny. And obviously it brought the two of us a lot of attention. So really, who are we to judge, I suppose? But I also think that turnabout is fair play. And if she's going to clip stuff in an effort to make fun of me, I'm going to turn it right around. And I thought really the first activity that we could do tonight is do a little reading of what Shu's energy is, because we've already done the reading of what Vosh's is. So we should do her next. But before we do that, guys, let's just do our little intro to the show for people who are new, because we already got a whole bunch of viewers already, and some of them might not know exactly what we're doing here. Guys, welcome to Nothing Remotely Controversial. This is a show that Joshua and I do every Tuesday night, not just on special occasions when we're reading Tim and Vosh's energy. And basically, so I talk about the news and whatever I think is interesting, and Joshua, who is a professional psychic and astrologer and tarot card reader and all of the things, uses his psychic magic, Joshua, to let it help us peer beneath the surface and look at what's really going on. Yes, he's a real psychic. Yes, we really do believe in this stuff. And yeah, this is supposed to be a fun, lighthearted way to look at the news. So if you don't like psychics, this is probably not your channel, at least for right now. You can come back another day, whatever. We just like to have fun with this stuff. So what I thought we could do, Joshua, I actually did tweet at Shu today. I was like, Shu, we're going to read your energy tonight live on my show as a thank you for this little clip. But I asked her, I was like, do you have a favorite picture that you want us to use? Because you use people's pictures to do this stuff. And she never responded. I don't know why she wouldn't respond. But so I just went to her Instagram.
Oh.
And I thought we could maybe like the most recent picture she's posted, and you can work your psychic magic. And I have some thoughts too, but I don't want to influence you because I know you don't know who the hell she is.
I don't. I like her though. I definitely feel like this is a powerful girl. her root chakra is very much connected to the earth, and I feel that it's very Plutonian. So it's very scorpionic in nature. Like she's very connected. Okay. Pluto is like the lord of it's the lord of wealth, of course, but it's also Pluto was the god of death, right? So all the riches beneath the earth's surface, like that's wealth. So in a lot of respects, she's very much like connected to the underworld. So she probably she has a significant amount of like Plutonian influence. There may have been like death around her. If we were in her chart, we'd probably see some strong Scorpio. There was probably like death around her, like at the beginning of her life or something, because she's pretty unflappable. She's pretty grounded, very, very much connected to the underworld. I feel she's very much like connected to dead people. You know what I mean? Like I feel like she's getting her energy. Sorry?
You think she's like psychic?
Oh, I think she's very psychic. Although I don't know. I know that she's connected to the earth and the underworld, and I feel like she's getting energy from the dead. Whether she's aware of it or not, I think she has some idea. I think she's very well rooted, and I think she's very smart, but probably feels misunderstood. I think that she's a good person, and I feel that she probably gives to charity without knowing it, like without making a big deal about it. Do you know what I mean? Like I think that she does things for people in the world that she doesn't like go around trumpeting like I gave this, I did that. She seems to have this need to guide and console other people. I feel like younger people than her, and I feel like she does a really good job at it, but she's definitely getting energy from the underworld. That's cool.
That's interesting that you say that she has this like she wants to guide people, because in the chat that I did with her on this channel, she was like trying to give me like life advice about how to be on YouTube and do this kind of thing, and I was kind of like, I'm like 10 years older than you, and I've got a lot more life experience, and but I thought it was like coming from like a sweet place, but I was like, I don't know if I'm going to take this advice, but like I really like I've gotten the sense with her in my extremely limited interactions. I think that she cares about, I think that she does actually genuinely care about people. I think that a lot of people who do this, they might pretend to care about people, but I think that she genuinely does care. I think that the way she's going about doing things is misguided, but I totally understand it because, I mean, the truth be told, like, I kind of feel like maybe this is what it is, to be honest. I kind of feel like when I was her age, I was very similar to her. Like, I've changed a lot since I was her age, right? But I feel like when I was her age, I was probably very, very similar to her in a lot of different respects.
Well, you have Pluto in the first house. So in a lot of respects, and Pluto, having strong Pluto placements, especially in the first house, it does give you that, I think, you've gone through a lot. So it gives you that sense of maturity. So even at most of my clients, or a lot of my clients, are under the sign of Scorpio. And I have some clients that are 25 years old, Scorpios, that, their life experience trumps, some 70-year-olds that I know. Do you know what I mean? So I think that, when you go through a lot, as Plutonian people do, like yourself, like Shu, I think that it's part of the course that you feel the need to guide and console other people. And there's a certain mother aspect that comes about from that. Do you know what I mean? Because typically with Pluto, there's death and rebirth, and you're left to sort of like take care and to care for other people.
Maybe that's why she's so attracted to socialists like Vosh.
I don't know the politics of the situation, but she and Vosh are good friends. Is that it?
I don't know exactly what they are, but yeah, I think they're friends. At least last I heard. I don't know. I don't keep up on like YouTube drama nonsense, so I have no idea.
Okay, right on. Yeah, but she's a good egg. I think she's a good egg. Definitely.
Well, it's too bad she got taken in by Vosh then. I'll tell you what, he's gonna spoil her. So okay, there's our little energy analysis of Shu. And listen, like guys, wait, Joshua, talk about what you just did, because I want people to understand it. You didn't know anything about her. So how did you pull all that?
I'm clairaudient and I'm clairvoyant, so I'll see things. But with this one, I guess I may have been hearing some of it, but it was more clairsentience when you just like sense things. Like that was also a really good picture of her. Like she's like looking right at the camera. And oftentimes, it's called psychometry when you actually look at a picture and get a whole bunch of information. But it's sort of analogous to scanning someone. But I feel like her energy is just very, very open, and I feel like it wasn't a challenge to sort of get that information. I feel it was very much like fed to me, like it was really obvious and like blatant. If that makes sense.
Do you think she picks up on like stuff like that without realizing it? If you think she's psychic?
I think so, but I think that a part of her, because she is so sensitive and so psychic, she has that like she can see things, but she keeps things like she can't go down the rabbit hole. And I think that might be why she does do stuff on YouTube, because when you're on YouTube, there's that like level of distance, and it's the airwaves, right? So you are able to keep people really at bay and sort of survey the land and understand what people are about without actually diving in and going in there. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think that she also is just, I think that, Scorpios are very good with they have very good survival skills. And I think that when you're very, very psychic, you have to sort of create really strong boundaries. And I think that she has them, it would seem. You know what I mean? I don't think she'd be so successful if she did not.
Hear that, Shu? You might be psychic yourself, so don't make fun of psychics. You never know. You never know. All right, Joshua, we have actually a whole metric bunch of super chats that have already come in, and so we're definitely appreciative of that. But listen, I really think the very first thing that we need to do right at the top is get our weekly election update, because God knows this is the election that will never end. We are almost 1 full month into this election now, and we still really don't know what's going to happen, much as CNN might try to convince us otherwise. And so for people who might not know or might be new to the show, if you are a real psychic, Joshua, why can't you just tell us what's going to happen? Why do we need to do an election update every single week?
Because the truth is, there's no such thing as a psychic prediction. We have free will, and we have the ability to make decisions. And of course, on a mass or global level, everybody has free will. So say things got brought to the Supreme Court. Well, things could be swayed one way. It's almost like, think of it in terms of, you go for a job interview, and you ask the psychic, like, am I going to get this job? Well, if you choose your free will to wear red that day, and the person interviewing you hates the color red, well, then things are off. It could look like you were going to get the job, but again, your free will is involved. So when we're doing predictions, what we're doing is we're linking up with where the energy is headed to. So if all of the energy is lining up in a certain way and flowing in that way, the psychic can essentially predict and say, well, it looks like you're going to get the job, or it looks like Biden's going to get elected, or Trump is going to be president again. You know what I mean? You can feel where the energy is, but because so many people are at play and so many people's free wills are at work here, and decision making, again, you cannot predict that always, because people have that prerogative to change their mind, to waver, and to be persuaded in another direction. Does that make sense?
It does make sense to me. I hope it makes sense to people watching. So let's do it, Joshua.
I will say that if like energy's flowing in one particular direction, that's what the psychic is able to predict. Like, yes, he's going to propose to you. Yes, you're going to get this job. Yes, there's money all around you. Like that's why psychics are successful in their predictions, because oftentimes when the energy's going in that direction, it's going in that direction, and it's going to manifest.
So your last couple of weeks, I need to take this shawl off. It's too hot. I just wanted to show off my new shawl, but it's way too hot in my office to wear a full shawl.
Very nice shawl.
I'm very proud of this shawl. This shawl took me 6 weeks to make. It was freaking effort, man. But so your last few predictions about the election have been kind of inconclusive. It's kind of come up that you don't know what the F is going to happen. You don't even think there's going to be an inauguration in January based off the last 2 readings, right? So,
right. I feel like it's definitely been inconclusive. And I think that things are very much up in the air. At least that's what I remember. And I haven't been watching the news because I feel like, number one, I hate it. And number two, I feel that you know, I don't want Tucker Carlson in my head or worse, Anderson Cooper or anybody that could be feeding the meter. It's almost like, I want you to read my friend and you know, she had this bad breakup and, you know, she's going through this. Like, don't feed the meter. Like, don't give me that information about your friend because I'm a human being and I could incorporate that in the reading when really what we want is as clear a channel as possible. Does that make sense?
Okay, so we're going to have a nice clear channel.
I believe so. I have no idea what's going on in the world. So this is my sacrifice.
Well, we appreciate you making the sacrifice of remaining ignorant and not watching the news for us, Joshua.
It's no hardship, really.
You're the smart one. We're all the crazy ones that eat this crap up all day, every day. So what is the best question that we can ask tonight to get an election update?
How about, is Trump closer to getting 4 more years? Could that be a good one?
Well, but we wanted to be specific, remember, because we made the mistake a couple weeks ago of asking if he would make it to a second term, but it could have been in 2024 that he could have made it to a second term. And we want to know about 2020.
So, yeah, So we can say, does it look like Trump will get a second term in 2021? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Will you phrase the question for me?
Does it look like Trump will get a second term in 2021?
And will you do me a favor, just say, will Trump get a second term in 2021?
Will Trump get a second term in 2021?
And tell me when to stop shuffling.
Stop.
Princess of Cups, 2 of Swords, Sorrow. So it's not looking very good tonight.
Boo.
Princess of Cups, though, I feel like he's just very smart in the sense that I think he's going to be loosening up a bit. Like, you can't be like ready to like kill 95% of the time. You can't be like ready, like competing, like upset about it. Like, he's like relaxing a little bit about it. And I feel like, are you frozen? Oh, here you are.
I don't think I'm frozen. No,
you're fine now. But I think that he's like loosening up a little bit with the 2 of Swords. This is obviously an impasse. So things are, this is very much like, you know, decisions right now are in the process of being made, but there's an impasse. So it's almost like the two groups or 2 sides both have their guns drawn, and it's like, you know, they're at a stalemate. So that's what this card is about. Right now there is peace, but our final card is Sorrow, 3 of Swords. So this is a sense of like heartbreak or issues in terms of that actually happening as things look right now.
Okay, can we look at the reverse to this and see if Biden is the one that's going to win?
Yeah. Do you want to say, will Biden be inaugurated on January 21st?
21st? Yeah.
2021?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Will Biden be inaugurated on January 21st, 2021?
And tell me when I should stop shuffling on that.
Stop.
Yeah, it looks like it right now. Yeah.
Boo. Boo.
So yeah, the success card comes up, but I don't think it's as bad as we think. Believe it or not, the success card comes up. Then you have the 7 of Discs, which is like fear of failure. Like, oh, geez, what is going to happen here? But with the Hierophant, I think that there's an obligation that he's going to have to do the right thing for America at large. And we have to sort of trust that. Do you know what I mean? I guess what I'm saying is that, like, have a little bit more faith. America's not going to go to hell in a handbasket if this is correct and he gets inaugurated. You know what I mean?
Oh, I don't think America's going to go to hell in a handbasket. I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be another 4 years of Obama. He's bringing back all the Obama people. It's basically like corporatists. It's like it's the most depressing thing in the world. And the thing of it is like the progressives have got this coming because the progressives right now are screaming and crying because Biden has basically shut them out. And you know what? I'll take it. I really will at the end of the day. I think he's going to be stupid and rescind Trump's executive orders around critical race theory, and that's really effing problematic, but whatever. It's not like an unconquerable problem. But I mean, really, I think that a Biden presidency is going to red pill a lot of people. I think the media is not going to know what to do. The media is going to stop making so much effing money because they aren't going to have anyone to attack anymore. So I think it actually could end up being a good thing in the long run. I don't think it's going to be the end of the country. I don't think Biden's going to usher in an era of socialism, simply because he's keeping all the progressives out. But I don't think I think it's going to be, I don't know. It's going to be boring is what it's going to be.
Yeah, but I think there's going to be some good checks and balances. But I love the Hierophant here in the sense that, I mean, I never thought much of Biden, as you know. But there is, like, when I see this card, I feel that this is going to sound a little bit crazy. Mm-hmm. But I feel that in getting this, like, he is, I think, surrendering to a higher power and doing the right thing and not, like, I feel like it almost feels like on an energy level, I know this sounds crazy, bear with me, but like God has sort of like infiltrated him, or that energy, at least the way he's experiencing it, that like he is now like the voice of God in a way, like he's channeling like a higher universal, love source energy. And I think
I don't know about that.
Well, no, this is what I feel, that like, I feel like in his head, like it's sort of like a responsibility to do the right thing, to, really be honorable. And I think that, when you get a position like that, oftentimes people call it humbling. And I think the only way to sort of deal with like that humbling essence is to really just say, how can I serve? You know what I mean? Which is putting your own selfish, egotistical desires behind you. And I do think that that is very probable. Remember, he is a Scorpio. Okay. So as much as he can, get on people's nerves and might have dementia, there is a very, very spiritual side to evolved Scorpios in which they go beyond the pettiness. They rise above things and they fly like the eagle. And I think that, we really ought to do whatever we can to, if that does happen and he does get in there, to, support him. I think it's the honorable thing to do. And I think it would be cutting off our noses to spite our face to hate him for the next 4 years. And I think that it's just foolish to do that. It's foolish to hate anyone for the next 4 years. It's stupid.
I understand where you're coming from here. I get it. I'm not going to support him. Absolutely not. Am I going to do what the Democrats did and do resist? No, because that's just as stupid, to be quite honest. But I don't think there's any way in. Biden would have to make some pretty overt gestures that he has not so far shown an inclination to make to the half of the country that voted for Donald Trump and loves Donald Trump and has been taken through the ringer by the Democratic Party for the last 4 years. And unless he does that, I don't buy any of this. The minute that Biden starts saying, you know what, maybe we really shouldn't talk about making lists of Trump supporters, and really Trump supporters aren't actually Nazis and white supremacists, and we should stop saying that they are. Until that happens, I don't believe he has the love of God in him. I really just don't.
I mean, obviously, he's a human being, so he's going to have his moments, his days. But I just think it's stupid. It's almost like, working for a company and hating your boss and be like, I hope he doesn't get this account. Or like to your dad, let's say somebody's mad at their dad, I hope he gets fired. Well, you're cutting off your nose to spite your face. Like, this is the leader of, the country, just like the father is the leader of the home or the CEO is the leader of the office. Like, you want them to succeed. You don't want them to fail or you fail. It's pretty simple, I think. If
Biden wants to say that I'm a Nazi, and by the way, you're a Nazi too, just so you understand. Like, you are in our camp now, purely because you were on this show with me. Like, if Biden doesn't want to say, like, half the country are not actually Nazis and white supremacists, then no, I am not going to hope for and pray for his success, because he's not hoping and praying for mine.
Does he actually say that all Trump supporters are Nazis? I don't think he's ever said that.
He's never said that they're not. He's played to the people who I'm going to take that back. Yes, he absolutely has said that they're all racist and Nazis. He absolutely did. He did. I believe it was in the second debate. It was in one of the debates where he flat out called people racist. And he hasn't taken that back. He hasn't spoken to that. I don't care.
Right, I think with the debate, Carlin, we have to make allowances. When you're in a debate, you're fighting for your life.
Well,
you're fighting for your life, and you have to go low.
Joshua, he thinks he is one right now, and he has still not come out and said, he's talked about unity. Let's give each other another chance. Let's do this. Let's do that. Has he ever come out and said, you know what? I know you guys aren't Nazis. No, he hasn't done that. He's continued to reinforce this, and I'm sorry, absolutely not. No.
He has also said, though, and the little news that I have watched is that he is going to be the president for the United States, even for the people that have not voted for him.
Joshua, he still thinks that we're fucking Nazis and white supremacists. Like, no. You can't say, I'm going to be your president, you Nazis and white supremacists, million people. Like, please, no.
Well, he has balls calling anyone a Nazi or a white supremacist.
Considering he was the one that the white supremacists actually endorsed.
I mean, again, like, I think I understand where you're coming from, and obviously if somebody's going to call you that, you don't want to support them, but I think that you always want to leave the door open a little bit for somebody to evolve, grow, change, see the light, and, you know, be a good person. I mean, it's just advantageous for all of us. And also, it's just, I mean, I don't know, that's just my philosophy, but
well, you're going to get mean comments tonight. You know that. You just pissed a bunch of people off. That's okay.
You can be mean to me all you want.
That's okay. I'm not going to kick you off my channel. I'm just saying. People are going to try to convince me to. They'll be like, why did you bring that liberal on your channel?
I've been called a lot worse than a liberal. Let me tell you.
I think I have actually called you a lot worse than a liberal myself.
Yes, I think so, definitely. Even on this show, perhaps.
Even in public on this show. All right. So that actually brings me to the next point. And then, guys, after this, we're going to get to some of the super chats. But a pretty interesting story came out this week about a pet psychic. Joe Biden's dogs have told their pet psychic a lot about their beloved master and his future. And so basically, apparently, they told this pet psychic that they're excited to live in the White House and their master will make a great president. Joshua, as a professional psychic yourself, do you have any insight into the ways of pet psychics and if they're a real thing?
Absolutely. Yeah, I do think that some people can talk to animals and hear animals. Absolutely. Yeah. I can't say I have that gift, although I don't, you know, I never have really tried or really practiced that much, but absolutely. Yeah. There are some people that very much connect to animals and can communicate to them. Everything has consciousness. I mean, especially I think an animal, you know, yeah, everything has consciousness. And I think that you can absolutely get, I mean, obviously there are, you know, just like any psychics, there are, you know, fraudulent pet psychics and real pet psychics. And, but yeah, I think it's very possible. Yeah.
You know, I was once told by a psychic that I cheated on you with that I did. I occasionally cheat on you with other psychics to keep you on your toes and to double check what you say.
Right.
But I was once told by a different psychic that in a past life I was like the healer of the animals, and I had all these animals around me and I would heal them. Or something, and that actually makes sense because animals generally love me. All animals love me.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense, and I think that's also, you know, a really good sign you're a good person. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, no, I think you can absolutely, and I think that also, if you think about it, a lot of people in this world, they might have like issues in terms of connecting with other humans, and you know, a dog is an opportunity a dog specifically is an opportunity to really express unconditional love, because dogs are completely unconditional. And if you have a need to connect, obviously you're going to be able to, connect with the dog, because there's a certain level of like safety attached to it. And that comes with, reading the dog's mind or reading the dog's thoughts. I think that especially dog owners have a really great, they're very simpatico with their pets. Dog owners are insane. They love their animals so much. Yeah.
I can confirm that. But you keyed up my next question perfectly, and Chrissy in the chat has already hit on it. Because apparently this week Biden's dog tripped him and broke his foot while he was playing with him. But this actually kicked off like a whole bunch of conspiracy theories on Twitter, where people were like, Biden didn't really break his foot, he's wearing a tracker or some such nonsense. So Joshua, can we psychic if Biden actually, I think it was like a fracture in his ankle or something. Can you psychic if Biden actually fractured his ankle?
Yeah. And just say that for me. Did Biden actually fracture his ankle? Or did something actually happen to his foot?
Did Biden actually, did something actually happen to Biden's ankle?
And tell me when to stop shuffling.
Stop.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I even feel like it's tender. Like it feels like, yeah. I think there's also, it's more than just the ankle. I feel that it's almost like I'm not a doctor, but like the bone. It's very. I think it's very, very. What is the word? Sensitive. But yeah, the strife card comes up. I think that with the 8 of Cups, I think that, ankle, we always talk about this, right? All injuries, the physical body doesn't lie. It can't lie. The body will never lie. So when you have like an ankle injury or you roll your ankle, usually it's a matter of like splitting your energy. And with the 8 of Cups, I think in a lot of respects, it's a matter of, is he 100% behind, being president? It's like almost one of those things. Like originally, again, he did not want to run. He was strong-armed into running for office, I believe. Like originally he had said no, his son had passed away. And I think that might be what this is about. Like things are moving fast for him and he has to move forward. And, I always give that example to you when I was running one day and I was also had an opportunity. Are you there? Or are you frozen? Oh, here you are.
No, I'm here.
I was running one day and I was actually working on a project, or an opportunity to work on this very, very, very important writing project. And anyway, I was running and I could go down Courtney Street, and Courtney was actually one of the name of the characters in this project I was working on. Or I could go down this other street, and at the same time, I was going in my head about whether or not I should take on this project. And because there was Courtney Street and this other street, I didn't make that decision, and I rolled my ankle and I hurt my ankle. And the point being is that when you're splitting your energy and you're not like, this is where I'm going, and you're full force behind it, that's when I think ankle injuries can happen. So my guess is that a lot of it is about him leaving his current lifestyle for what is to come.
Well, and so, I mean, you confirm what I said too, because remember, like I broke my ankle like 3 years ago and had to wear that stupid boot for 8 GD weeks. And like, I knew when people were like, you can't get in a boot right away. You have to be on crutches if you're in a boot. Like, no, you don't. They put me in a boot immediately. So I always believed that Biden actually broke his ankle. I did. All right, guys, let's dig into your super chats. You've sent a bunch of them in. Thank you for that. We're going to do our very best to get through as many as we can. Keep in mind that anytime you guys send in super chats to have Joshua psychic something, we do ask that it is like a high level thing and not like a personal thing. So we want to make it applicable to everyone. So Joshua, Gloria sent in a super chat before we even got started tonight. And Gloria wants to know, 2 military generals told Trump not to concede because there is treason, and 2 lawyers are telling Trump to use martial law to fix this. He needs to. All right. So I guess it's not even a question. Thank you, Gloria. Cold Summer. Oh, this is a fun question, Joshua. Cold Summer wants to know, will Trump pardon Joe Exotic?
Who's Joe Exotic?
The Tiger King.
I don't even know who he is, but
it's like a Netflix thing.
Will he pardon him? Is he like in jail or something?
Yes, I guess so. I don't know. I never watched that show out of principle. I thought it looked stupid, but apparently, yeah, he's in jail.
And do me a favor, say, will Joe pardon the guy?
Will Joe pardon Joe Exotic?
And tell me when to stop shuffling.
Stop.
Ace of Wands, Queen of Discs, Death. I don't know. I would be surprised if it's going to be high on his priority level.
I would be surprised if it was high on his priority level too. If I'm honest.
I also think that there's more information to be gathered from that whole thing. In that, I think that he's done more than what he's being accused of doing. So I don't think they'll be pardoned anytime soon. The Death card comes up, so I think that there's more. There's more to it than just that. Is my guess.
All right, fair enough. I didn't think he was going to pardon him because, that just doesn't make sense to me. Jessica Foster says a super chat for demonetization. Thank you, Jessica. We appreciate that. Let's see. We've got Patricia. I don't know what that means, your question. I'm sorry. I just don't know what it means at all. Sasha, the book lover, says, I don't have a question, just saying hi. Thank you, Sasha. Let's see. Oh, okay. JMEW says there are rumors that AT&T is considering selling CNN. My question for Joshua is, if AT&T sells CNN, will Trump buy it? Maybe we could shorten that to, will Trump buy CNN?
Yes. And tell me when to stop shuffling on that.
Stop.
Queen of Discs, Ace of Cups. I definitely think that it's in his, its head. The potential is definitely there. Yeah, the potential is there. I do think, though, that there's certain other things with Queen of Discs, there's certain other ventures that are going to bring him a lot more money in, and then it's going to be a matter of, with the Ace of Cups, there will be a flow. But I feel like there's another network before CNN.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are saying Newsmax. Actually, Trump would buy Newsmax, which is kind of his favorite new thing now that Fox News sucks. So that would be amazing.
Yeah, he's going to be doing some really great stuff. It might be, a stronger venture in media.
Viking Insane says, this is one of my favorite new shows on YouTube. Thank you, Viking Insane. We appreciate that. Jamie Armstrong says, using Star Wars, I feel force sensitive with empathy. I have no control. How do I block or turn it off? Joshua, I think that's a question.
The level of empathy?
Yeah, so I guess I basically I think this person's saying they're an empath and they don't feel like they can control it and wants tips for turning it off.
Oh, okay, cool. So grounding and shielding. So you want to remain always grounded, and it's almost like picturing your feet as tree trunks, right? That makes you really, really grounded and connected to the earth. And earth is not, obviously you can be spiritual on earth, but people who are very, very empathic or psychic or spiritual, they're in the spirit plane, but we're on the earth plane. So if you ground yourself and you see your feet as tree trunks, or even feel the earth rising from the bottom of your feet up your legs and, shooting out your head to the heavens, that will ground you. And the other thing is shielding. So you want to create a pretend or an imaginary bubble around you of white light. So there's always going to be that boundary. Also, another thing is when I first started reading people, what I would do is I would see this net around them. And I would put this pretend net, and in a net, you can actually have holes in it, right? But the net protects you from their energy. So you could actually put your hands up and be okay, say your name and get the energy from the person, but the net is trapping any negativity. So you may want to try that. And I would just, I think minding your own business is really helpful. If you're being compensated or, like I wouldn't be open to reading people unless there was some kind of balance attached to it, unless there was some kind of, quid pro quo, because otherwise, I mean, it's an invasion of privacy. And it also, could unnecessarily drain you.
All right. Cindy says, my birthday is January 21st. Will Trump be in the White House? I think we've kind of already answered that, Cindy. It's not looking good this week, but frankly, who knows what next week will bring? Because it's literally been different. I mean, it was inconclusive the last 2 weeks. We didn't really know. It looked like interference 2 weeks before that. So who knows? We'll do another update next week. Viking Insane, this is a good question and something that I would frankly be curious about. Viking Insane wants to know, will there be a major economic crash in 2021?
And tell me when to stop shuffling on that.
Stop.
There's going to be some issues.
Boo.
Yeah, there's going to be some issues. But I think that, in every economy, there are some people that just flourish, right? With the magician card. It's just so funny. Like there are just some people that, in every economy, they just flourish. And I would just make that decision that you're going to, flourish if you're worried about that. But with the Three of Swords, the Sorrow card comes up. And my feeling is really that the money is almost like a symbol. So if you allow yourself to make sure that you're not sorrowful in other areas, you will keep yourself from being sorrowful when it comes to any negative economic impact. But I do think that what will happen, I get it being around May or June, there's going to be a requirement for like very fast changes. So maybe it's a matter of where you keep your money or how you have your money, stuff like that. So yeah, just keep on alert for that, if that makes any sense.
All right. Well, I think that's actually even more of a sign that Biden might get in there too, because I trust Trump with the economy. I do not trust Biden with the economy at all. I think he's going to cancel some student loan debt. I think that they're going to do payouts. I think they're going to try to keep the lockdowns going as much as absolutely possible. I read something today that said like some Democratic advisor was talking about how they're not even going to have like normal presidential conventions moving forward. That's okay. 4 years from now. That's 4 effing years. And they're already saying, nope, not doing that again. Like that, this is the level of crazy that these people are. But I guess we'll see. Let's see. Oh, geez. Sorry, guys. Super chat jump. Okay. Neffy says, will the Dems lose more support from their base over the next 4 years?
Let's see.
That's a good question.
Over there. And give me, tell me when to stop shuffling.
Stop.
Prince of Swords, pleasure, worry. I do think so. I think it's going to start on one of those notes in which, like, it's almost like, oh no, it's okay. Like he'll hang in there. He'll hang in there. He'll be fine. Keep the faith. But I do think that unfortunately, the economy will take a nosedive, and I do think that they will not be happy with that. So I think they will indeed lose support. Are you there? Uh-oh. You frozen? You're frozen. She's coming back, folks. She said, don't play music. I won't play music. Although I did sing a tune. Okay, she's coming back. Anyway, how is everybody doing tonight? I hope you guys are having fun. She will be back soon. And I hope I gave you guys good. Well, I know that some of the news that I spoke about tonight, it's not going to please a lot of you, but I hope that we can put it in a better place. We can see what's up. I don't know what else to talk about. What else do you want to talk about? So LA today, complete ghost town under a Gemini moon, nonetheless. It is not the same place, people. It's not the same place at all. It was like almost like what is it when you have those dust bunny type things? Carlin will know the name of it. Tumbleweed.
Sorry.
My I was talking about the tumbleweed in LA today.
Oh yeah?
It was a ghost town. Like, this is not like everything is like, it is a complete ghost town. Like, it was so crazy. Like, I used to live in the most vibrant neighborhood ever. And it was like, it was so quiet and desolate today. It was scary. It's really scary. And that's what I was talking to the audience about. They were surprised.
Okay. Well, excellent. Sorry about that, guys. My whole computer just froze. Shoe Head must have sent mystical psychic energy at me. And so now I'm regrouping. But Joshua, let me get into YouTube Studio, and as I set up my audio stuff again, we can do another super chat. I don't even know what you get for the last
one. We did the last one. We did finish that, right? Oh yeah. So yeah, the thing is that it does look like they're going to lose some of their support because of the economy, actually. Like, they're going to give him can you hear me okay?
Yes.
They're going to give him a little bit of freebies, like, oh, he'll be fine. But then, I think with 5 of discs, eventually it's going to be like, no, we were doing better when Trump was in office. And I think they're going to be
Perfect. All right. I'm not going to be mad about that. Well, I said to Brandon a minute ago, I said to him, I actually thought that this would be better for Walkaway if Biden. Now I have my nice mic. Okay. I actually said I thought this would be better if Biden ended up winning for Walkaway overall, because it was going to red pill a lot of people. Like, I think a lot of things would come to light that just wouldn't come to light under Trump, because people are spending all their time fighting Trump and not actually living in reality. So, all right, let's see. Where's our next super chat? Okay. Yvonne says, okay, not to be a conspiracy theorist, but there are a lot of rumblings that Gina Haspel was killed in the server raid in Germany. Okay. Can we say that? Is it like who is she? Oh, what is her position, guys? Remind me. She's like CIA or something. Isn't she like the director of the CIA? I think she's the director of the CIA.
What are we looking at, though?
Was she killed in the server raid in Germany? I don't actually believe the server raid happened, for the record, but we can still psychic it. Yeah, CIA director. Yeah.
Was the CIA director killed in a server raid? Is that the question?
Yes, that is the question.
Okay. The CIA director is definitely dead.
No, the CIA director is not definitely dead. No.
Okay. The CIA director killed in the server raid. And I'm going to stop shuffling on that.
Stop.
CIA director killed in the server raid. Truce, virtue. No, I think that the CIA director is okay. I think that might be quiet for a bit with 4 of swords. But yeah, there's a lot of 4s here, so I don't think anything is going on with the CIA director. I think that
you guys are so conspiratorial. You really are. You're very conspiratorial. All right, we're doing rapid. I know Joshua actually has something to do after this. Elizabeth Barlow wants to know, will Biden get through his first term if he wins?
Oh,
will he make it?
You're worried about that? Oh.
Maybe a better question to ask. Will Kamala Harris take over during Biden's first term? How do you want to ask it, Joshua?
Let's go with the first one. Will Biden complete it? Because it doesn't have to be that. Do you know what I mean? Doesn't mean that he's going to pass away.
Okay.
But maybe we say, you know, there could be something else like health issues or something. So will Biden complete his first term? Yes.
Will Biden complete his first term?
And tell me when to stop shuffling.
Stop.
No, I would be highly.
No, I want President Kamala. Joshua, I don't. She can't be the first woman president. Please, no.
So really look at this with the moon card, and they know they're not foolish. This whole thing has been engendered. I don't think that they ever expected him to last for 4 years. And with 5 of Swords, remember this card.
Oh, mother effer.
The one that they think I mark because I care so much about this shit. And then Prince of Swords. So yeah, I don't think so. And I think he is even aware of it.
Oh,
I think that was probably what got him to go in, is the fact that, like, we can pop you out whenever you want, fella. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, Jesus.
I think there's a certain degree. I don't think that he would have done this unless he knew that there was a freedom attached to it, unless there was an out clause, so to speak, in his contract. Metaphorically speaking, not literally.
That is the most depressing thing I've ever heard, that Kamala Harris would be our first woman president. That sucks. That sucks real bad.
I mean, it's not just her. She has a whole bunch of people that would be working with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, her decisions aren't going to be, you know, her own. And also remember, she's a Libra. So she's going to be very much, she does have an Aries moon, granted, but as a Libra, she is going to be somewhat impressionable to what other people want her to do. So I wouldn't look at it as this one person making the decision. She's not Donald Trump. Donald Trump will go against the grain and do whatever he wants to do, even though he has advisors, etc. I do think that Trump listens to his advisors, but yeah, I think Kamala more so. You know, we've got to be positive about this. We must.
Okay, fine. Well, guys, I think maybe we have time for like one more. I know you guys have sent in a lot of super chats, and what I just did is I actually just copied all those super chats, and I'm gonna try to incorporate them into next week's show, just because I don't want to miss. You guys are asking some really good questions, and I don't really want to miss some of them. So you'll have to come back next week if we don't get to your question this week, and I apologize. But Joshua's on a very tight schedule, very regimented. If you disrupt his schedule, Joshua gets very cranky. All right. So here's one that I want to know, though, Joshua. So did you hear about what happened today with CNN?
No. What?
Okay. So there's this guy. His name is James O'Keefe. He runs Project Veritas, and he's like famous for doing like undercover investigative journalism, where he has people wear like hidden cameras on things, and he gets all sorts of interesting information from people. And apparently he had been listening in to the CNN like news team calls for months. Someone gave him the log-on information for CNN's conference line, where you have all the journalists and even like the president of like the head of the network or something talking about their nefarious plans and how they're going to position things and how they're going to tell the stories, and basically admitting that they're propaganda. He's been listening to and recording these calls for months. But today on their call, he basically came off of mute and was live streaming the whole thing, where he was like, Hi, CNN president. We've been listening in and recording your calls for months. And he's releasing them bit by bit by bit. And so Naughty One says, how badly will the CNN leaks hurt them?
Will the CNN leaks hurt CNN, right?
Yes.
And tell me when to stop shuffling on that.
Stop.
I think there's one woman who's going to come out of under fire, Queen of Wands. Yeah, I think it would be a mixed bag. Like, I think there'll be some stuff that's just sort of just stupid and not really something to be worried about. Yeah, I think the focus is going to be this fiery person, this fiery woman. But I think at the end of the day, yeah, I don't think everything is going to be leaked. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like I have all this information, but I'm going to give you this. I'm going to give you this. I'm going to let you know I have this. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. He's playing games.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, it's more worth it for him to, barter and say, "This is what I have. What do you have?"
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see. Apparently, he's going to be releasing new clips like every single day, and he just started tonight, and it was fabulous. And I can't wait to see what else he got. All right, guys, if we didn't get to your super chat tonight, I do apologize again. I've copied those and I put them in a little document, and we're going to try to incorporate the questions next week as best we can. So it was not all for naught. We will try to get to it. We do this every Tuesday night at 9:30. Hopefully, usually my computer doesn't freeze and turn off randomly in the middle of the stream, but what can you do sometimes? Joshua, do you have any final closing thoughts?
Yeah, well, we're in between two eclipses right now, so it's a little bit of a wonky time, but just like hang in there if things have been a little bit weird over the past few days into the next few weeks. We're moving into this new direction, so just hang on. Think the thoughts that feel good. Try to feel as good as possible, especially over the next few days, because the moon will be in Cancer. Or actually now, or in 1 minute, the moon will be in Cancer. So it's important to feel good in order to get more good things to come to you.
Excellent, excellent. Joshua, where can people find you if they want to get a reading from you?
PsychicSun.com. The link should be in the description. Psychic Sun, as in sun, the sunshine.com. And you can check out my website, and I have a YouTube station. I don't have a plaque.
Well, we'll get you a plaque. Guys, if you enjoy Joshua, go and subscribe to his channel. I know I saw some of you when Joshua was saying things you don't like, saying, I'm going to unsubscribe from Joshua's channel, but you shouldn't do that because you want people to deliver you good news and bad news. That's a good thing. And Joshua is right more than he's wrong, even when I don't like what he has to say. All right, guys, that's all we've got for tonight. We will see you again next week. I do have a live stream on this channel tomorrow with Dr. Howard Asher. That live stream will be at 2 p.m., so we'll bring Dr. Howard back on. If you enjoyed our show tonight, please hit that like button, and if you're not subscribed already, please make sure you subscribe on your way out the door. We will see you next week. Bye.